Hey, what's up guys? This is Tack with Northwest Knives and this is Tack's Take. Good day, my fellow knife enthusiasts. This is Tack here with Northwest Knives, and we're going to be doing a Tack's Take today, and I'm very excited about the knife I'm going to be discussing. But before I discuss that knife, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. That way you can stay up with everything knives, more important, everything Northwest Knives. Okay, guys, now that we got that out of the way, one of my favorite knives I have ever carried and will ever carry is a Chris Reeve knife made here in Boise, Idaho, right down the road. So let's talk about Chris Reeve knives more specifically, because on this channel, or I'm sorry, on Tack's Take, I can only pick one. There's a lot of perfect knives from Chris Reeve, if not all of them. So today I will be talking about the Sebenza 31. More specifically, this one in my hand with the natural micarta inlay. So there's a lot to discuss, a lot to break down. So let's talk about it, shall we? All right, everybody. This little beauty in my hand is the Sebenza 31 by Chris Reeve Knives. So guys, let's start with the steel. So this one in my hand is S45VN. Yes, S45VN. They did graduate from the S35VN that Chris Reeve did have a hand in creating that blade, that steel. So the S45VN is going to be a very complete blade, meaning it's got good corrosion resistance, ease of sharpening, and also edge retention. So that really covers all the bases when we're talking about a steel. This little handsome profile is a drop point with a hollow grind. I love a drop point knife. It is one of my favorite blade profiles. The hollow grind, if you guys aren't too familiar with the hollow grind, the way that's going to act is when you're going to be using this knife. Chris Reeve knives are meant to be used and used tough. So as you're using this knife and you're going to need to get it resharpened, the more you sharpen it, as you sharpen, I should say, you're going to have consistency in the thickness of the blade. So you're not going to really get into a super thick part of the blade after a few sharpenings, making your knife with the edge retention not very good. So again, a hollow grind is one of my favorite grinds because of that specific functional purpose. If you notice here on the blade too, some nice light jimping, not too aggressive. It's not going to chew up your thumb, but it does give you that nice, I guess you can say, traction, so your thumb is not going to be sliding anywhere up, down, left to right. The materials used for the handle are titanium. So for a very, very long time, Chris Reeve was the best EDC production knife out there. And the crazy thing is today there's a lot of companies that are using very close to the same materials, making a great knife with great tolerances, but Chris Reeve is still in the game and it is still one of the best because the consistency they do. Now when I talk about tolerances, guys, these are NASA-like tolerances. They are so tight, so they're perfect because there's a difference between a manufactured knife and an engineered knife. This is an engineered knife. Everything has a purpose. Everything has been thought through. All the measurements are perfect, and you will notice that once you have it in your hand and you're using it. So when it comes to titanium, it's going to be one of the strongest materials out there. Now for the lock, Chris Reeve did invent the frame lock. He is the founder and the inventor of the frame lock, which is one of my favorite locks. If you notice, with every Chris Reeve knife, that lock bar sits right under that blade really, really well. This thing is not going anywhere. One of my favorite features with the Sebenza 31 is also on the lock bar. No longer is there titanium sitting right under that blade. There is a ceramic ball. The nice thing with the ceramic ball is you can get a little bit of longevity in the lock bar. Is there anything wrong with titanium sitting under the blade? Not really. This knife is still going to outlast me, but with that ceramic ball, like I said, you will get a little bit of longevity. So maybe your great grandkids will start noticing that. But as far as you and I, this thing is going to outlast us big time because this thing is built like a tank. I really like the pivot and the washers. You always hear about Chris Reeve knife opening with that hydraulic feeling, and it is very true. Very smooth deployment, and it does have that hydraulic feeling, which is very addicting. I've heard guys say, oh, there's not much fidget factor. To me, fidget factor is just fidgeting. No matter if you're opening it fast or opening it slow, this thing is addicting. And that detent, you can hear that click from the detent. Something I really look forward to is a strong detent, because I don't want the knife opening up in my pocket. If I were to, you know, do this little thing and hold it like this and open it, I'm not a big fan of that personally. I would rather have a strong detent that I know this blade is not gonna open, not on purpose. So guys, also on the clip here, if you notice, it sits off a little bit off to the side, so it's not resting on that lock bar. A very cool feature they did. They did put a lanyard. If you guys like lanyards, me personally, I take mine off of all of my Chris Reeves. I just don't need it. But I had a friend of mine tell me a good point. On the small Sebenza, if you do have a larger hand and your pinky is floating off of that handle, well, that's what the lanyard's nice for, because now your pinky's actually squeezing this, so it actually promotes length in the handle, which is actually a really, really cool feature and something I didn't think about until he told me. And then I held the knife and I'm like, oh, yep, I see what he means. So that is a super cool feature. They have a lot of different variations, from the plain Janes to a lot of different inlays. Whether you're a wood inlay guy, micarta, they have it all. They are all done beautifully. There is sandblasted, there is glass blasted, there is a polished finish. So again, Chris Reeve, again, if you know this knife, you've heard it millions and millions of times. There's so many channels out there doing comparisons with the 21 and the 31. I'm not here to compare a 21 or 31. I'm here to tell you what I love about the 31. Now, there is the large Sebenza 31 as well. For me, I like the small Sebenza. It just fits in my hand a little bit, just fits better. I think the blade length is gonna be perfect for everything I've done. I've cut rope, I've cut straps, I've cut plastic, cardboard, anything you can think of with this thing, and this thing is still going, still looks beautiful. And to maintain the beauty on some of your hardworking knives, they do have a spa treatment. Spa treatment's really nice because you can take its Chris Reeve, they will take it apart, clean everything by hand. I mean, literally everything by hand. And if there's a washer that's not fitting right, they will take 0.001 millimeters off of that washer, put it back on so it fits perfect. So when I talk about tolerances, this is the attention to detail that Chris Reeve puts into every single knife they make. Okay, the blade length is 3 inches. The handle is going to be 3.97, giving you an overall length of 6.87 inches. And this little guy here weighs 3 ounces, not heavy at all. For being a titanium handle and this phenomenal S45VN steel, this is actually a pretty light knife. So again, great for EDC purposes. So guys, again, we are so happy. They make Chris Reeve right down the road. We are top 5 in the world of the biggest retailers for Chris Reeve knives specifically. We have their workers come in the shop. We talk about knives. We have Tim Reeve come in the shop. We'll talk about knives and business and what's coming new for us. They're having a great year. We're having a great year. There's only more knives to come. So we're super excited and super blessed that, again, they make them right down the road. Couldn't be happier with these guys. Not only are you getting a great knife, but you're also supporting a great company. So guys, at Chris Reeve, keep up the good work. We'll keep making videos and keep selling these knives and making everyone's life happier, because this is indeed a grail knife. All right, guys, so don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification so that way you guys can stay up with everything knives, more importantly, everything Northwest knives. And we will see you next week with a new knife and a new Taqs take. So take care.